Right now, we're following breaking news out of Brampton. A public transit bus has been involved in a multi-vehicle crash that has left 7 people injured.
Well, bars in the city will be allowed to serve alcohol starting at 6 in the morning during the winter games. This is after council approves the mayor's motion.
And for the first time since January of 2021, the average selling price of a house, in Toronto, fell below $1 million.
This is Live at 5.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liz West.
I'm Bakari Savage. Welcome to Live at 5. We're following breaking news. A number of people have been taken to hospital. This is after a transit bus was involved in a multi-vehicle crash in Brampton. It happened this afternoon.
CP24 was over the scene at Queen Street and Hanson Road. That's where the bus ended up off the road around 3 this afternoon. Paramedics tell us 7 people have been taken to hospital, 1 with serious injuries and the rest with minor injuries. So let's check on the commute with CP24 traffic specialist Adjoa Nsea-Yeboah. Adjoa?
Watching this problem in Brampton that was happening earlier when CP24 was over the scene, but the investigation continues. If your travels take you towards Brampton, we continue to deal with that full closure of Queen. It is shut down at Hanson, which is west of Rutherford Road, following that serious collision involving a Brampton transit bus and several other vehicles. What you're seeing now are problems that are happening on the major routes. This is on the 401 westbound in the collectors, just as you make your way through White's Road. It is the left lane that is blocked following an ongoing stall. Eastbound on the 401, you'll find that busy going starting from the 427 in sections out towards Warden. Again, further east, more delays if you're traveling in towards the Westney stretch. Northbound on the 427, actually not too bad northbound. Southbound is busiest as you make your way from about Dundas onto the ramps that take you onto the Gardner. And if you're using the Gardner, we had some problems westbound through Kipling. It looks like those problems did all clear.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
Well, sending it over to Samantha TC at the TTC Transit Control Center. Samantha, a hearing of delays still on, obviously, GO Transit. Not really a fault of the TTC, but I hear TTC is helping out with commuters?
That's right, Adjoa. So while GO Transit does run on a special schedule, we are here to help them out during this time. So right now we are running special express buses on the 509 Harbourfront route, running between the Exhibition Loop and Union Station. So if you do normally travel between that Liberty Village area and Union Station, you can get on one of those express buses for a seamless connection over to Union Station. Now we are experiencing a few issues of our own this evening into the evening commute. So right now, looking at service on line 1, train service is holding northbound at Lawrence Station with an emergency alarm activation on board the train. There are response personnel that have been dispatched to the scene. Now looking at service on line 6 Finch West, there's currently no service between the Humber College and Martin Grove stops because of some track switch issues going on. Now we do have plenty of shuttle buses running actually on the entire length of the line from Humber College all the way to Finch West Station. Now over to our surface routes. Right now the 507 Long Branch has no service between Humber Loop, the Queensway, and Lakeshore and Kipling because of a collision blocking the streetcar tracks. Now, for more live up-to-date updates, make sure to visit us on the ttc.ca website. And that's it from us. Sending it back to you in the newsroom.
All right, Samantha TC joining us from the TTC Control Center. Thanks a lot. Okay, commuters, they're going to have to continue to deal with GO train delays. Metrolink says service disruptions resulting from Monday's GO train derailment, they're going to continue tomorrow. GO trains have been running on a modified schedule since the derailment Monday morning. Metrolink says more trips have been added to the Lakeshore and Milton lines, and Up Express service, it's back to every 15 minutes, but the transit agency acknowledges that this has caused some delays due to high customer volume on a reduced schedule.
Chaotic, very busy trains, lot cancellations. It's been a struggle getting home after work, but I hope they clean it up soon.
Yeah. How's today looking so far?
Morning's good. It's a mystery in the afternoon.
I am very frustrated because, getting home late and then get up again to go back all the way in Pickering is a long way. So it's been,
What was yesterday like?
Yesterday was a headache because I got upstairs and it was supposed to leave on time, but it didn't. We came back downstairs again to be told that it's going to be leaving another half an hour later.
And Metrolink says that the train was put back on the tracks. The majority of necessary work has been completed, but the signal system sustained significant damage. That still needs fixing. The agency says repair crews are working around the clock so that they can add more train service.
And as the TTC prepares for the long-awaited opening of the Eglinton Crosstown LRT on Sunday, the transit agency is adding some new bus routes that will connect riders to the line. The TTC says 6 new bus routes will also be in service. That's of this Sunday. And service is also being adjusted on several bus routes, and 2 routes are being removed. The Eglinton Crosstown will see trains running between Mount Dennis in the west and Kennedy Station in the east. And while the TTC confirms it will open this Sunday, it says it will be on a reduced schedule, and full service, well, that could still be months away.
And Toronto City Council giving the go-ahead for bars and restaurants to serve alcohol, get this, as early as 6 o'clock in the morning during the Olympics.
Pretty early.
CP24's Phil Perkins joins us live from City Hall with more. Phil, this isn't the first time, though, right?
No, definitely not the first time, Bakari and Liz, that back in 2023 for the FIFA Women's World Cup, that was in Australia and New Zealand. And so obviously there's a big time difference there. So they allowed bars to open up and serve alcohol at 7 in the morning. Now, these Winter Games, which are already underway, the opening ceremonies are just a couple days away, but they're in Italy, in Milano Cortina. So they are 6 hours ahead of us. So there are some events that are starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. I saw some mixed curling going on at 6:10 in the morning. So Mayor Olivia Chow said that starting tomorrow, so this is after City Council gave a show of hands, it's unanimous, starting tomorrow, February 5th on a Thursday, bars that have a liquor license under the Liquor License and Control Act could technically open up their doors at 6 in the morning and start serving alcohol to anyone who wants to check in and you know, get all their Winter Olympic action in with some friends. And that seems to be one of the keys here for Mayor Olivia Chow. She says, you know, watching sports like this, it is a communal event. You shouldn't be watching alone in your condo. You should be gathering together with your, you know, countrymen, whether you're watching with fellow Canadians or anybody else who want to watch your country do its thing in the Winter Olympics. You should be able to enjoy it with a beverage or two, as long as you're doing it safely. Here's some people speaking to us about this when it was brought up earlier today.
Come down and support your local whether it's cafes or pubs, restaurants, anywhere there's a screen that show the games. Could be skiing, downhill skiing, hockey games. I don't think anyone would mind.
You want to get up at 6 a.m. and watch figure skating? I think that's a great opportunity, and the businesses will identify the events and the sports that they want to open up for, and you know, have the draft flowing and bringing people together. That's a positive thing. That's really what the Olympics is all about: is countries and communities coming together around the power of sport and standing up and supporting our athletes. And we've got some tremendous athletes representing Canada overseas. We're wishing them all the best. And folks here in Toronto are certainly cheering them on, whether that's at home or at their local bar.
And it looks like hockey, that's the biggest draw, really, for those who want to go to the bars. Obviously, everyone likes alpine skiing as well. But for the hockey, men's and women's, the earliest game I'm seeing right now in the round robin is 10 o'clock in the morning. So you don't have to get up that early. As for city councilors, they will be back next Tuesday. This is going to be a big one. This is for the 2026 budget. They'll be discussing that. Back to you two.
Okay, joining us live from City Hall, CP24's Phil Perkins.
And from pints to plants, a petition is growing in support of expanding Allen Gardens. The Friends of Allen Gardens say that the city needs more greenhouse space, and it's calling on an investment to double the conservatory's footprint and revitalize the surrounding parkland. Now, the petition says the expansion would create more space for interpretive gardens and community gathering areas, and is asking elected officials and the broader community to work together to support and endorse the project.
It was established when the city was only about 40,000 people, and of course we are about 70 times bigger than that today, but the Gardens has only received minimal real investment since that time. Our goal is to expand the amount of areas under glass from about 16,000 to over 34,000 square feet, to create more opportunities for communities from across the city and Canada to experience greenery in the city, horticulture, food growing, culture programs, places where we can connect with each other.
Friends of Allen Garden says its preliminary estimates put the cost of the greenhouse expansion at roughly $50 million.
Well, the city says that it is continuing to make progress in cleaning up from last month's massive snowstorm. Officials say that crews have cleared more than 95% of Toronto's school bus loading zones, with the remainder to be cleared over the next few nights. Now, the city says crews have also been focusing on removing snow from cycling tracks on Bloor, Yonge, Davenport, Danforth, and Huntingwood Drive. That's all happening today. That work will continue overnight. And the city is reminding people that snow removal operations, they're taking place around the clock. Parking remains banned on snow routes.
And video posted to social media shows a pretty close encounter with a coyote in North York.
Yo, what is a coyote, yo?
All right, that's a face-to-face confrontation that happened in broad daylight. That was near York Mills and the DVP. Now, the animal did keep its distance, eventually darting away before it got too close.
All right, it's 5:11, -5, feeling more like -8. This is Live at 5.
And coming up, we've got parents rallying today at a public school near Coxwell and Gerrard. That's where 2 teachers were recently fired and 8 others were suspended. A rally was held today in an East End public school where 2 teachers were recently fired and 8 others were suspended. Parents and teachers are calling for the teachers to be reinstated at Bowmore Road Junior and Senior School. The teachers have been gone since last Thursday, and just days after the TDSB informed parents that the school's principal and vice principal would no longer be at the school. That's the school near Coxwell and Gerrard. Parents believe the situation stems from 2 issues: changes in teaching models for grades 7 and 8, as well as increasing issues around violence and bullying.
We want our teachers back. We need our teachers back in the building. They are the most caring adults that can help our students when we're already in crisis. So we want the TDSB to hear that. We want all teachers, 10 teachers back as soon as possible. We want our teaching model back. That was stolen from us in the fall. We want it back as soon as possible. We also want meaningful safety supports in the building, not just roles on paper, but actual people in the building who are going to help with our safety issue.
It's been a massive time of chaos at the school. We're really concerned about the security and safety issues and the massive instability that the departure of the teachers has created. So we're here to show our support for our teachers, both my son's teacher and all the teachers at Bowmore.
The teachers didn't have enough time to prepare to get all the courses together, the materials together that they needed. As a result, the kids suffered. They had teachers teaching courses that they haven't taught in decades. It wasn't fair to the teachers. The teachers spoke out, and as a result, the TDSB, which is run by the Ford government, decided to suspend the teachers and fire 2.
The TDSB has appointed a new superintendent at Bowmore and says more supports and security measures have been implemented.
Well, last month marked the first time in 5 years that the average selling price of a Toronto home was less than $1 million. And for a closer look at this, let's go live to CP24's Arda Zakarian joining us from the newsroom. So, Arda, buy now? Is that the new mantra, the new credo?
It depends on who you ask and what your economic circumstances are, for sure. That's according to some real estate agents that I spoke to today. But the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says that the average selling price of a home dropped 6.5% to just under $1 million. That's $973,000. And this was the first time prices fell below $1 million since, like you said, 5 years ago, January of 2021. Home sales for January fell 19% from a year earlier at just more than 3,000 sales, and new listings were also down from a year earlier, but active listings were up 8.1% to just under 18,000. Now, average listing days on the market rose to 45 days. Jason Mercer is a Chief Information Officer at Toronto Regional Real Estate Board.
If you think about the income that was required at the peak of the interest rate tightening cycle, you're talking about a $200,000 household income required to purchase $1 million home. Today, it's more in the $150,000 to $160,000 range. And so that's seen, a real improvement in affordability. Yet we haven't seen a lot of people moving back into the marketplace. And a key factor there is just uncertainty around what your job situation is going to look like, as well as incomes moving forward.
According to TREB, this trend is going to continue into the first half of 2026. That's because of the elevated supply. It will likely lead to lower average selling prices, but prices could stabilize in the later half of the year if consumer confidence improves. The average detached home price in the GTA was down 7.4% in January to just under $1.3 million, and the average condominium price was down 9.8% to just over $600,000. Back to you.
Okay, joining us live from the newsroom, CP24's Arda Zakarian.
This is Live at 5. It's 5:17 minus 5. Feels like minus 8. Kind of balmy, really.
Okay, along with that, coming up, another sign that winter is not going to last forever. Canada's Wonderland getting ready for its new season by hiring 4,000 people.
Premier Ford was asked about calling a by-election in the riding of Scarborough Southwest. This afternoon, Democrat MPP Dolly Begum announced she was stepping down to run for the federal Liberals.
I've really liked Dolly, actually. I think she'll do a good job as a federal MP. She's fortunate enough to win. And I guess there'll be a time to call a by-election after that. I'm just not too sure when.
Beach's East York MP Nate Erskine-Smith has already indicated he does plan to seek the Liberal nomination by the provincial by-election in Scarborough Southwest when a date's announced. He was asked about stepping down as an MP and as he headed into a federal Liberal caucus meeting that was in Ottawa this morning.
So I'm committed to serving my federal caucus and serving my colleagues and serving the country as long as I've got a seat here. And as soon as there's a by-election, though, I am all in, and I'll be resigning this seat, and I'll be focused on provincial politics. It's up to Doug, obviously, to call that by-election. But when Ford calls that by-election, I'm not doing both jobs.
You'll resign as soon as the by-election is called, regardless of whether I win the by-election.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Was I not clear enough? I am all in.
Erskine-Smith finished second to Bonnie Crombie in the Ontario Liberal leadership race. That was in 2023, and Crombie recently resigned, but the party has yet to announce details of a new leadership race.
Well, two people were escorted out of a meeting. This is of the Mississauga Board of Trade. It happened during a speech by Premier Doug Ford this morning.
Great chair of Peel Region, and so we're going to continue to visit the city of Mississauga and help out any way we can. And as I look around, I can't help but feel excited about the city's future.
Well, the two women, they were calling for compensation for Grassy Narrows First Nation, similar to what occurred during Ford's address at the Progressive Conservative Convention. That was Saturday. And following the brief interruption, Ford touted efforts on free trade within Canada and a desire to get rid of the HST on all new home purchases.
Over the past year, I've worked closely with premiers and the Prime Minister to make free trade a reality within Canada. The benefits of free trade in Canada are clear. It makes our country stronger, more resilient, more competitive, and more united, and more able to stand up to President Trump and his tariffs. There's only two good things that President Trump's ever done. Number one, he woke us up, thank God. And now we're diversifying around the world. And he's united the country like I've never seen before.
Ford also praised Mississauga Mayor Carolyn Parrish, describing their relationship as phenomenal.
It's pretty good. Canada's Wonderland is busy preparing for its new season. Now that opens May 3rd. Sure, snow is on the ground now, but the amusement park is looking to fill about 4,000 positions, and that's across all departments. Wonderland says jobs will be posted on their website throughout the month, and candidates can apply online.
Okay, we're following breaking news. This is out of Brampton, where a public transit bus has been involved in a multi-vehicle crash. 10 people have gone to hospital. Let's go live to CP24. Sija Liu, who's arrived at the scene. This is at Queen and Hanson. Sija.
Bakari, Liz, that's right. I'm here in Brampton where there was a crash involving a Zoom bus and several vehicles. The bus has been towed away along with all the vehicles that were damaged, but this is what the scene looks like right now. We still see a damaged tree along with some remnants of a car that was totaled. Earlier today, this crash took place around 3 o'clock. It was a Zoom bus along with several other vehicles. Our chopper cam was over the area earlier today, and there were several vehicles that had severe damage. Earlier in the day, there was a car here in the parking lot that had its airbags deployed, its doors crushed to the side, and that is some of the pieces of the car you're seeing right now in the snow. But first reports came in from Peel paramedics was that there was 7 people taken to the hospital, 1 person with serious injuries. But in the latest update we got from Peel police is that 10 people were taken to the hospital. Fortunately, all of their injuries are minor, so no fatalities when it comes to this crash. Now, everything has since been towed away. The roads are flowing again. It was closed for a few hours as police were doing cleanup efforts, and police did warn people that there could be more patience. But right now, the latest update that they told us is 10. Again, this took place on Queen Street at Hanson Road, which is just west of Rutherford. A collision involving a bus, a Zoom bus, and several vehicles. But Bakari and Liz, the good update that we got a few moments ago is that all of the people who were in this crash are expected to be okay.
Okay. Reporting live from Brampton, CP24, CJ Lou.
It's 5:25 -5, feeling like -8. This is Live at 5.
Well, up ahead, Penny, a Doberman Pinscher from the Toronto area, beat out more than 2,500 other dogs to win the Westminster Dog Show. A public transit bus in Brampton has been involved in a multi-vehicle crash, injuring 10 people.
Bars in the city will be allowed to serve alcohol starting at 6 a.m. That's during the Winter Games after council approves the mayor's motion.
And for the first time since January 2021, the average selling price of a house in Toronto fell below $1 million.
This is Live at 5.
Good evening. I'm Bakari Savage.
I'm Liz West. Welcome to Live at 5. A public transit bus in Brampton has been involved in a multi-vehicle crash that sent 10 people to hospital. We're going to go live to CP24's CJ Lou at the scene, which is at Queen and Hanson. CJ, what do you know?
Liz, Bakari, what we know right now is that 10 people were taken to the hospital, but fortunately, they are all expected to be okay. This happened after there was a collision involving a Zoom bus in Brampton, along with several vehicles. The scene has now cleared. You still see remnants of a few car pieces and a downed tree, but the scene has reopened, so cars are flowing once again. And this was a larger Zoom bus that was involved in a collision. You see a single Zoom bus there. It was one of those buses that had 2 combined in one. And there was extensive damage done to a number of vehicles. When we first got here, there were at least 3-4 cars in the parking lot that had their airbags deployed and suffered extreme damage to the car. But fortunately, police said all people taken to the hospital just had minor injuries. Initially, they told us that they sent 6 people to the hospital with minor injuries, 1 person with serious injuries. And in the last update we got about 30 minutes ago, they upgraded that to 10 people, but said all the injuries are minor. Right now, what led up to the crash is still unclear. We don't know what caused it or how many people there were inside the bus at the time, but we do know right now that 10 people is the latest number we're getting, Liz and Bakari, and the scene has now cleared, and we're just waiting for more updates from police. Back to you.
Thanks for that update. That's CJ Lou from CP24 live in Brampton.
Well, commuters are going to have to continue to deal with GO train delays. Metrolink says service disruptions resulting from Monday's GO train derailment will continue tomorrow. GO trains have been running on a modified schedule that was since that derailment Monday morning. Metrolink says more trips have been added to the Lakeshore and Milton lines. And Up Express service, it's back to every 15 minutes, but the transit agency acknowledges that this has caused some delays due to high customer volume on a reduced schedule.
Today was really, really smooth. Yesterday, my train was delayed by about 4 minutes, so it's getting on track.
I don't want to be the one to complain,
but at the same time, it's not ideal.
My commute in was pretty good. There was just a little wait as we were entering in, but other than that, it was good.
And Metrolink says that the train was put back on the tracks. The majority of necessary track works has been completed, but the signal system sustained significant damage. That still needs fixing. The agency says repair crews are working around the clock so that they can add more train service.
And as the TTC prepares for the long-awaited opening of the Eglinton Crosstown LRT that's happening this Sunday, the transit agency is adding some new bus routes that will actually connect riders to the line. The TTC says 6 bus routes will also be in service as of this Sunday. Service is also being adjusted on several bus routes. 2 are being removed. Now, the Eglinton Crosstown will see trains run between Mount Dennis, that's in the west, and then Kennedy Station in the east. And while the TTC confirms it's going to open this Sunday, it says it's going to be on a reduced schedule and full service. Well, that could still be months away.
Okay, right now it's 5:34. Let's get a check on the roads with CP24 traffic specialist Ajwa Nsiayabwa. Aj.
Thank you, Bakari. And yeah, still a busy go out there on most of the major area highways, and you're running into problems impacting your drive on the eastbound lanes of the 401. This is just as you make your way through Warden in the collectors. It's the right lane and shoulder block to this collision. They did have a center lane block, but the other vehicle involved managed to squeeze over into the right lane at least. Still very backed up from the 427. Then if you're heading into Mississauga, this is the westbound 401. Also in the express this time, just as you make your way through here, Ontario. Right lane and shoulder block to this collision. Fires trying to weave around and get to this scene, and also creating a delay from as far back as the 410. Onto the DVP, no issues. Northbound heaviest, approaching Bayview, blow up to the 401, and also, complete gridlock on the Gardner as you travel into and out of the downtown core. We do have problems on the 400 northbound up at Lloydtown, Aurora Road. Crews on scene of a collision that is blocking the right lane. Now I'm going to send it over to Samantha Teetsy at the TTC Traffic Controls at the TTC Control Center. Samantha, what's going on this afternoon that commuters need to be aware of?
Thanks, Ajwa. So looking underground at our subway system, things are moving well. We did just have a delay on line 1 at our DuPont station with a mechanical issue with one of our trains, but that has since cleared, so it's regular service on all of our routes underground. Looking at line 6 Finch West, there is currently no LRT service between the Humber College and Martin Grove stations because of some track switch issues at the Humber College station. So we got you covered though with shuttle buses running on the entire length of line 6 from Finch West all the way over to Humber College. Now looking at our streetcar routes, right now the 507 Long Branch streetcars have no service between the Humber Loop and the intersection of Lakeshore and Kipling because of a collision in the area. So make sure to leave yourself some extra time if you are traveling on the 507 Long Branch. Now lastly, we are also helping out our friends at GO Transit this evening while they run on a modified schedule. So if you normally travel between the Union Station and Exhibition GO, we have you covered with some shuttle buses that are running express nonstop from Exhibition all the way to Union Station. Now that's it from us this evening. Back to you guys in the newsroom.
Thank you, Samantha. Toronto City Council is giving the thumbs up for bars and restaurants to serve alcohol as early as 6 a.m. during the Olympics. And CP24's Phil Perkins joins us live from City Hall with more. This is good news, Phil.
Yeah, it's good news for local bars and restaurants, Liz and Bakari, who may be struggling a little bit after the holiday season. People getting those holiday bills, pinching their pennies, and nothing gets people out more than sports, especially cheering on their own country. Canada, obviously, normally during the Winter Games, which are already underway, mind you. But Canada normally dominates in the Winter Games, and people who want to cheer on their team, whether it's in men's or women's hockey or luge, skeleton, ski cross, speed skating, whatever it is, if it's happening at 6 o'clock in the morning, because some of these will be happening before the sun comes up, because it's all going down in Milano Cortina, Italy. They are 6 hours ahead. Mayor Olivia Chow bringing up this motion earlier today at City Council to allow bars that have a liquor license under the Liquor License and Control Act to open up 6 in the morning and start serving people. Now, this has happened before during the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. It was in New Zealand and Australia. Bars here in the city were allowed to serve alcohol at 7 o'clock in the morning to accommodate the time difference. Here's Mayor Olivia Chow and Councillor Mike Cole on this.
If you're living in a small condominium, watching Team Canada play against, like hockey, It's not quite the same. You watch alone in your place. You want to go downstairs to a local pub. That's more fun when there's so many people watching together. And then, beer, hockey, sometimes they go together. So if that's what people want to do, by all means.
It's not a big deal. Let's get over it. I mean, it's not blue Toronto anymore, people will have a beer. And generally speaking, I mean, how many people are really going to drink that much at 6 a.m. in the morning? I don't know, maybe some of the Brits will, but anyways, generally, we just got to remind people that please, again, don't drive or take an Uber, take a taxi.
So this new bylaw kicks in tomorrow, February 5th. I reached out to my local watering hole to see if they're going to follow suit. They have not reached out back and responded to me as of yet. Mayor Olivia Chow then made her way to Ottawa for the big city mayor's meeting. City Council will be back next Tuesday. This is going to be an important one. They're going to be discussing the 2026 city budget. Back to you, two.
Okay, I would drink a Bloody Caesar at 6 a.m. What would you have?
That'd be pretty good.
Do I have to choose?
You have to. Oh, you'd have everything on the menu?
Why not? It's a celebration.
Okay, Phil, what would your drink of choice be?
There you go.
All of the above?
I think, if I was at the cottage, I think a Caesar would be good. But, if I'm watching Canada, USA or something in men's and women's hockey, maybe a Guinness kind of counts as a meal replacement, 6 in the morning. A lot of minerals in that, from what I've been told.
If that's what you want to tell yourself. Thanks, Phil.
Okay, it's 5:40 minus 5. This is Live at 5.
And up next, for the first time in half a decade, the average selling price of a home in Toronto, it's under $1 million.
Well, last month marked the first time in 5 years that the average selling price of a Toronto home was less than $1 million. And for a closer look at this, let's go to CP24's Arda Zakarian joining us from the newsroom. Arda.
Bakari and Liz, the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says that the average selling price came down 6.5% to just under $1 million at $973,000 for a home. And this was the first time that prices fell below $1 million, as you said. Since 5 years ago, January 2021, home sales for January fell around 19% from a year earlier at just more than 3,000 sales. New listings were also down from a year earlier. However, active listings were up 1.1% to just under 18,000. Now, average listing days also rose to 45 days on the market. Lara Bujikian is a real estate broker in Toronto.
Prices are lower, but affordability is still a challenge. Buyers may see lower purchase prices, interest rates, and qualifying stress tests are still there, and it's a hurdle for some buyers. But, the first-time buyers who are well prepared, they have their down payment, they have stable income, and they have realistic expectations. They're in a good position to get into the market, but they still have to be careful, not to stretch themselves.
This trend is going to continue into the first half of 2021 because of the elevated supply. It will likely lead to lower average selling prices, but prices could stabilize in the later half of the year if consumer confidence improves. Now, the average detached home in the GTA was down 7.4% in January to just under $1.3 million, and the average condominium price, that was down 9.8% to just over $600,000. Back to you both.
Okay, live from the newsroom, CP24's Arda Zakarian.
And Durham police have connected a network of online groups to recent threats made against a Pickering elementary school. William Dunbar Public School had a string of threats. Now, according to police, the incidents may be connected to a group that's called The Calm, that's short for community. Police say it targets young people, typically ages 8 to 17, through online platforms including Discord, Snapchat, Roblox, Minecraft, and Twitch. And last week, the school was placed in a lockdown following a phone threat.
Honestly, the school is perfectly fine and safe. We did go into a lockdown. Unfortunately, that's not what was communicated to the parents back then when it happened.
I feel just saying, yeah, investigations are ongoing. I'm glad they are, but there should be more of a transparency rather than just go home, we have it under control. Well, it doesn't seem that way.
Durham's police chief and the local school board's director of education have sent a letter to parents saying investigations are ongoing.
It's 5:46 -5, feeling more like -8. This is Live at 5.
And today is World Cancer Day. More on this after the break.
Today is World Cancer Day. This year's theme is United by Unique. It focuses on the crucial role of personalized, patient-centered care in the fight against cancer. It also highlights the importance of adapting cancer treatments to cater to the unique needs of each individual. Well, Canada sees an average of nearly 700 new cancer diagnoses per day. The disease remains the leading cause of death in the country, with roughly 2 in 5 Canadians expected to develop cancer in their lifetime.
And right now we're joined live by Dr. Brad Waters. He's UHN's Executive Vice President of Science and Research, and Princess Margaret Cancer Center is a part of that. Thanks for being with us.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so Princess Margaret is consistently ranked as one of the top cancer centers in the world. Like, what makes it special, and how are they shaping the future of cancer treatment?
Princess Margaret really is one of the top cancer centers in the world. We're really fortunate to have a place like Princess Margaret here in Toronto. It's part of UHN and available to anyone here in Toronto, and actually serves many patients from across Canada. And the Princess Margaret is not only dedicated to advancing therapies and offering the best new therapies available to patients, but it's also committed to solving the unmet needs of patients. And as you heard, nearly 2 in 5 Canadians will be diagnosed with cancer. Today's cancer theme is United by Unique. This is a global challenge, and it's true not only in Canada, it's true around the world. And so the problems that our scientists and researchers are working on at the Princess Margaret are designed to improve therapies, not only for patients here, but for patients around the world. And they do that every year. The advances that are being made are having an impact. We've seen mortality rates decrease significantly over the last 20 years. And we've seen, in some cases, extraordinary progress in some cancers. But there remains a lot to do. The challenges are big, but it's an exciting time for cancer research, and places like the Princess Margaret are where new discoveries, new therapies are being developed every day.
Okay, Dr. Waters, what does this mean for Toronto's role, not only in Canada, but the world when it comes to cancer research and treatment?
Well, we play an outsized role, and it's in part because Toronto is a bit of a microcosm of the entire world. We have one of the most diverse populations in the world. We treat a very wide diversity of patients, and that creates opportunities for us to learn from our patients in ways that many other centers can't. The other thing is, we collaborate extensively with many other organizations around the world. The clinical trials that we run are often done in collaboration with centers across Europe, across Asia, across the US. And so the therapies that are being tested are designed to impact patients not only here, but around the world.
And if somebody is listening and wants to honor World Cancer Day, what do you recommend they do?
Well, there's lots of opportunities to get involved. And one of the things that makes Princess Margaret such a strong cancer center is the support it gets from its community. We have many philanthropists that support Princess Margaret through the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. When you buy a lottery ticket or when you participate in one of the events, this is really what makes it possible for Princess Margaret to kind of go above and beyond the delivery of care. So it's a huge shout out to the community in Toronto. It's been incredibly supportive over many, many years, and I'm sure will continue to be.
All right, Dr. Brad Waters, UHN's Executive Vice President of Science and Research. Thank you.
And a special blood drive took took place today in honor of Black History Month. Sickle Cell Awareness Group and Canadian Blood Services, they hosted the event together, aimed at raising awareness and encouraging more African, Caribbean, and Black donors. Sickle cell disease is genetic. It's a painful blood disorder caused by a mutation that produces abnormal hemoglobin, and 90% of those with the disorder are Black, and most patients require repeated transfusions. Today's event was in honor of Rayshawn Ronald Gabriel, who died in 2023 after a lifelong battle with sickle cell, and his mother spoke at today's event.
My son's journey showed me something that I will never forget. Blood is not just medicine, it is time. It is relief, it is hope. For those living with sickle cell disease, every donation is a reminder that they are not alone. And for those who give, even once, know this: you may never meet the life that you touched, but you will be forever part of their story.
And Daniel is a sickle cell patient advocate, and he talks about the importance of blood donation.
The blood isn't manufactured, right? The hospital doesn't just bring it out from anywhere. It's the kindness of others, it's the kindness of people that provides that blood. And I just want to say, individuals that donate blood, individuals that kindly donate their blood, something so close and personal to them, I want to say thank you. And you guys are the critical point for me standing here and having this speech.
Sickle cell patients are dealing with that kind of pain all the time, and there's sometimes no rhyme or reason for when it flares up. You do have triggers, but sometimes it can just flare up out of nowhere. Sometimes you have a slow flare up, sometimes you can have immediate flare up. I can be standing here right in front of you perfectly fine, and 5 minutes later I might not be able to walk because I'm in so much pain.
And today's event featured an information station where people can learn about sickle cell as well as the impact donating blood has on patients' quality of life.
It's 5:55 -5, feeling like -8, and this is Live at 5.
And up ahead, Penny, a Doberman Pinscher from the Toronto area, beat more than 2,500 dogs to win the Westminster Dog Show.
A Doberman Pinscher from the Toronto area has been named top dog at the 150th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show.
Best in show at the 150th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show is the Doberman Pinscher.
There she is. That's Penny, and she won Best in Show at Madison Square Garden last night. This is the 5th time a Dobie has won the title. Each dog is, someone's a fan of Dobies. Each dog is judged according to how closely it matches its ideal for its breed, and the winner, gets a trophy, ribbons, and bragging rights. And Penny's breeder and co-owner live in Newtonville. Teresa Connors-Chan joined us to talk more about the big win.
So yeah, it's a big deal here in New York City. They do a whole thing with the dog who wins Best in Show. We were up at the Empire State Building, and then, as I said, they're cooking a special meal for her at the restaurant that we're at right now. So that'll be her treat.
I love that. Penny came out on top after 2,500 dogs spanning more than 200 breeds strutted their stuff at the show.
Okay. Well,
do you have a dog?
It's 5:59 -5. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24.
I keep thinking about my dog. Sorry.
Thank you for watching. CTV News at 6 is next.